Hey. Over the river and through the woods, to grandmother's house we go. The horse knows the way to carry the sleigh through white and drifted snow. Yeah. Over the river and through the woods, oh, how the wind does blow. It stings the toes and bites the nose as over the ground we go. Ha! We just had a wonderful Thanksgiving. This morning I got up and went to the airport and dropped John off uh, that was with us, and it was great. Um, but there were a lot of people out there, and we had a good time. Right now, well, I'm just going to wait a minute here and give everybody a chance to get on, and we're going to talk about what are those things you need to do in order to get ready for next year, and we'll help you a lot as you're wrapping up. I mean, sometimes just knowing what you're going to do next means a lot to your own peace of mind, and we're going to go over that. And it will be sort of like my silver rule thing to say, am I doing, or the green rule, am I doing for myself what I'm asking other people to pay me to do for them? So this will create some accountability for all of us. Anyway. Did you go over the river and through the woods? I hope you did. We had some real good times here this last week. Thanksgiving was kind of like a whole week of celebration with the family. And boy, did we love it. And I hope you had a good time too. There's my grateful back there. I'm grateful for what I got. And I'm Jay Skinner, and we're live here on the Buyers and Sellers Show. Thanks for coming. Anyway, those of you that might be new, I want you to take a good look at this and be sure to join me on the CEOextender.com, the plasticpalletguy.com, thejskinner.com. All takes you to the same place. I'm part of my company, the PDT Associates.com. PDT stands for Project Profit People Development Team, PDT. And sure want you to get to know what we're doing here. And if there's anything I can do to be helpful, there's my contact information. And on this particular topic today, I really think that some of you are going to have some questions or might be interested in the process that I'm showing you to get ready. It's very specific. There's going to be 10 points, and we're going to get through them fast. You can always come back and watch this over right here on whatever channel you're on, or go to YouTube or go to my website and find the broadcast to look over it. And there'll be stuff right here on the screen that will help you too. But if all else fails, get in touch with me and we'll schedule time to talk. No big deal. Love to talk to you. The green rule is what I mentioned a minute ago, which is do for yourself what you're asking others to pay you to do for them. Some of you are in a service business like this, a type of consulting where you help people. That's one part of my business where I help people, and as the CEO extender, and you hear me talk about my clients and the things that I do with them. And some of you are in a business to business type business where you deliver and sell products, or you have a business to consumer, B2C, where you deliver and sell products to consumers and to customers. This is for all of us and for all of you. So I think you're going to like that. There we go. How are you preparing? Getting right into it. Number one, are you ready? And by the way, I want you to feel free to comment right here. And I'm going to put in a comment. DJSkinner.com website. And I'm going to click that and put that in the comments, because this will pop up and you probably see this in your own comment area. This is where you go to comment, and then when you come on, I'll see this and I can pop it up, and you can just type in your comments right here, and I would love to hear your comments and your thoughts as we go through this. And so number one, get your contact relationship manager together. Which one is best for you? And I've done some work in this area, a lot of it really over the years. I was doing contact relationship managers. Now, some of you have heard of Salesforce. That's one of the big daddies of them all. I'm very familiar with that. Done administration with a Salesforce program before, but I'm also involved with ACT, Goldmine, and then Method, which is another good one. But the one that I want to recommend today and represents a great opportunity for you is to take a look at this one. I'm switching over to this because I see it as the best, easy to use, artificial intelligence feeling, and economical CRM that I've run into for ages for B2B in particular. And I love B2B, business to business, and that's what I'm in with my CEO Extender and also with my plastic pallet business. And so I want to recommend that you check out Pipedrive and check it out through this link, Gitomer.com//CRM. And that will automatically get you a tremendous discount, a 20% discount, and a longer trial period, which is kind of nice through the Gitomer VIP program. Let's see, someone's on here. Greg Sneed says, comment. That's right, a comment. Like to have a comment. Thank you, Mr. Sneed. I appreciate your comment. Of course, this is great. And then if you're B2C, that'd be business to consumer. Example might be like a dental office. That's good. Or some sort of a business. I got a friend that has a trash hauling business, and he uses, he'd be B2C, and another company. Just you have a retail establishment out there with some bricks and mortar, and people come in and you talk to, and you also contact customers directly, and you want to keep track of them and work with them, and you want to build out your social media presence all in one program. Check out this. It's called Thrive, THRYVE.com. And your contact there would be Emily Brink. I want you to contact Emily right there. Tell her Jay Skinner sent you. And if you can get online, you can look at Thrive. But I would recommend that you give her a call, see if she's got any deals for you before you sign up for a test drive. But Thrive is really, really strong. And they also will manage for a very low monthly amount. They will manage your whole website, your social media. And I'll tell you that it's just all structured very much for B2C. The owners of this are people that came from the original Yellow Pages, and they're well funded. It's a good group. And just get a hold of Emily if you're interested and you're a B2C type company, like a store, service, dentist's office, doctor's office. And Emily, well, she'll just knock your socks off because she's so smart about this and can help you. Whatever you do, integrate all the pieces in the program totally, with your email, with your cell phone, everything that you can integrate. When you go to preferences and settings, that will tell you in the program all the things that you can adjust. Personalize it all. Make it all about you. Get all your stuff in there and get it all talking to each other, because what you want is you want your emails to go in there with all your contacts. I wouldn't worry about, just have it integrate with all your contacts. Put hundreds and hundreds and thousands of names in there that are your names. And then when you start sending out emails, they'll start attaching. When you've got a deal getting ready to go and you talk to someone, you can just jump in there and you can put the information in, start the sales stages, and it will also give you reminders. It is wonderful. to have a contact relationship manager. And really, I've been doing CRMs since just about computers were started. It was probably my first CRM. I wrote it myself before you could buy them. And it's the only way to keep track of all your customers. So if you think you're not happy with them, check out these Pipedrive through the Gittimer link right there. Hit this. And then if it's a B2C, I really suggest you get in touch with Emily and go to thrive.com because that is pretty awesome too. Now, next is your personal finances, taxes, peace of mind, keeping track of stuff. I suggest just talking to you about what I do and what works for me is I like QuickBooks, and I have an accountant for a very low monthly fee that helps me keep track of my expenses and invoicing and make sure everything matches up. And we talk, and it's really not expensive to have an accountant to jump in there and make sure it's all set up right. And then when I do my invoicing, it's just another set of eyes on it. It's worth every penny to have a friend here in my QuickBooks as an accountant to help keep things together. So I suggest that for you as well. And then I like do-it-yourself taxes. My TurboTax is an example. And I will tell you, every time that my taxes change in like a big way, like when we first got some rental properties and my company changed and I went from being a lot of W-2, like a regular employee, to more 1099 type income and self-employed income. It's not a bad idea to go to an accountant, have them work with you to just double check all the different aspects of it and make sure that year it's all filed. But then you can use your TurboTax yourself to match it. And it's so good. And then at the same time, if you're wondering, well, should I handle this way or that way? Right there on your computer, you can do hypotheticals and figure out what you want to do. And then really cool is that if you stay with it, and I like the one that's on my computer and I save all the files. And then each year when I do it again, I bring in last year's tax file, write automatically in, and then it just builds on it. And if I have things in the past, previous transactions that carry over and things, it'll do all that for you. It's pretty sweet. So I like TurboTax, and I keep all the files all backed up, and I suggest that for you. See some more comments here. Let's see. We got Mark Gassert. Hello, Mark. What's up? Nice to see you. Glad you're here. Glad you came. And let's see. You know some of the people here too. That's great for sure, Mark. I'm so glad you're here. It says the live stream is breaking up a bit. Thanks for telling me that. I don't know exactly what's happening, but I got something in my mind. There may be some background stuff going on here I forgot to turn off. So let me do that and see if I can help the live stream clean it up a little bit. One of the things that you got to do when you do these live streams is if you have background programs in there, go to this area, things that are synchronizing, backup programs, Google Drive, and so forth. Just pause the syncing, pause the things that are going on. And also, if you've got your Outlook on, whoops, look at that. That drags you down a lot too. If you got programs like Outlook running, or if you have programs like Zoom and other things like that running in the background, that doesn't help you. Exit out of those. Maybe this has helped. Great. Thanks for the comment there. And Greg says hi to Mark. Yep. And Mark's saying it's everyone being home. It is now better. It is fun for everybody being together. And let's see. John Godwin says it's A-OK on LinkedIn. Good. Glad it's coming through there. I did knock out those background programs. John, thanks for being here. This is great. Okay, everybody. We talked about finances and how to attack that. And Greg Sneed mentioned, I think, let me double check that. I think he said that he's been using TurboTax since 1989. Me too. I've been in it since about then too, and I really like it as well. Okay, good. Thank you. And let's go to the next. Business email tied to your domain name. Well, Now, some of you know that for years I've used my AOLs. I had WJAYSkinner at AOL.com, and whatever else I was doing with my websites and things, I'd keep that going. And I will tell you that AOL served me very, very well, and I will continue to keep those. Probably cleanest and safest email you can come up with. But from a professional standpoint, we're kind of at the point where your email needs to reflect your domain name somehow. And so that's why you're seeing now that I am J at Skinner.com. And you can do some other, they call them aliases, all going to the same spot, like sales at and info at and those sorts of things. And they're all the same account flowing into the same thing. But when I'm signing up for things or I'm talking to people, it seems like these days, especially now that AOL is just not very well known like it used to be or respected. It makes people laugh too much, although like I said, it was a wonderful program for me. I want everyone to know that you should go ahead with your website, and I'd say get on GoDaddy and just do it all together there. And then once you've done that, you connect it directly up with Google Mail under the same exact address. You do not have to have multiple addresses to do Google Mail and Google Drive. Once you've got your main one, you can go over to Google and just elect to use your own email address. It'll hook you all up, and it's wonderful. So remember that. Let's see, we got lots of people on here. This is great. From Europe, Sweden, checking in. Oh, Thomas, so glad to see you. Thank you for being here, Thomas. Let's see, Mark says, Gregory Sneed, 1989, I was tearing up Hotlanta. There you go. And let's see, Mark says hi to Thomas. Mark's been around. This is like a lot of friends. And let's see, Goodwin Graphics here. He says, AOL means you are an early adopter, not an OG. What's that old guy? That's right. I was an early adopter, and AOL served me well. And I'll still tell you today, it's probably one of the safest email you could ever have, the AOL one. So Jay Skinner always brings solid content. Thanks, Mark. And Mark's got a regular show too, and it's like, that's great, along with Tom Ginn. And I'm glad you are really here. Okay, so let's click back over here to what we're talking about. And remember, one of the things I want you to know so much here is that on the other side of this, if you want to talk more about this, what I'm talking about, just get in touch with me. This is stuff I do. Your website and updating it regularly so the content is good and up to date, and then working the SEO, search engine optimization, as part of it. I use GoDaddy, their web builder. It's not that expensive, and I can go in there and I do it myself. As I get bigger, if I was a bigger organization, I would hire somebody like AmericanEagle.com to work for me. And if I was working with Thrive and I had a B2C business, I would be having the Thrive people do it for me right now. It would be great. But you need to get your website going. If you don't have that going, get that done and make it a website name that you can turn into a nice email to. Okay, we got some more comments on here. Let's see what we've got here. Greg Sneed says, or a laggard to upgrade. That's right. Okay, it's like Doug Wing. Hello, Doug Wing, author of most recent book, The Giver. Look up Doug Wing, former owner of one of the owners of the Little Giant Ladder Company, good friend, author. And by the way, if you ever heard of Chicken Soup for the Soul, he co-authored this with Mark Victor Hansen, and that's pretty cool too. So, Doug, thanks for being here. Always want to give you a shout. Just go to DougWing.com and you can find out about his books. That'll be great. Well, you guys, you're starting to use these early adopter and these words and things like this and laggard and that sort of thing. And that is part of a theory. It's a theory of, what's that theory called? I always talk about it. Someone tell me, early adopters, and laggards and all these people. And it's this bell curve of innovation. And what's it called? Something of innovation. Somebody type it in there. Help me remember, because if someone sees those words, they should know about them. Look at this. It's like the whole gang is here. Greg says, "Good morning, Doug. The only one who should wing it on a sales presentation." That's right. Yep. When he wings it, he's prepared. Exactly. Okay. Where are we now? Talked about doing your website, and I recommend GoDaddy. And look, you can pile up URLs and do all sorts of cool stuff there and build your search engine optimization for yourself. And password saving. I can't remember, just doesn't fly. Please. I deal with so many people still to this day. I'll say, okay, I'm trying to work with them on their Google or something. And they say, okay, what's your password for this particular Google account or your Chrome account? And you need to customize your Chrome accounts and have a number of them going at once for different things that you're doing. You can do that. You can have 4 or 5 or 6 of them. And for your different emails or for your different businesses that you do, and customize them. But then when you get in and you start linking them to other programs and doing other stuff, you got to know your passwords. Well, don't count on remembering them, and don't use the same one for every single thing that you do. You're setting yourself up to have all your personal information published out there in the on the dark web, and then maybe your identity gets stolen and someone borrows money under your name, and it's a really bad day. So please don't use the same password for everything like I did for years a long time ago. Well, you just need to write them down somewhere or type them in and have a document that you say that's somewhere that has your passwords on it. And the other thing is don't show it to people, or don't freely tell people what your passwords are. I mean, friends, family, anybody, please don't. Just not a good idea. And most of all, however you store these, store them in a way that you can find them. And could it be something you write down and keep in your sock drawer? Sure. It's better than not knowing what's the deal. But I like, there's programs like LastPass.com is a password saving program that'll help organize it for you on your phone and on your computer. I like that. And then I like mobile document organizers. I have a software that will keep track of all my files for me called Docs2Go. And that's a great place to just start a document and keep it there. I don't know what else to say except for saying I don't remember my password is not responsible. And quite frankly, if you're a business person and you don't have you're not in touch with your passwords, what kind of confidence are your customers going to have in you? They're going to take care of them. So please get control of your passwords. Let's see what else people are saying right here. Comments. There's some more. Let's see. Doug says, "Hi, Mr. Sneed." Let's see what Greg says. Passphrases can help too. There you go. That's another software, passphrases. And John saying iPhones are great for passwords. You bet they are. And I'm able to save my passwords in there, and and then I have multiple things because I use my Chrome and stuff, but saving them in there are great. However, what's important is that you need to know how to get to them. If somewhere along the line you're trying to use it for something, or you're doing some sort of a modification to your program, you need to know where to go to read the password. So really recommend that you've got to have some sort of an organizer going and have these passwords written down. No same passwords, and use two-party authentication. A lot of people, I see it on Facebook stuff, hacked, not likely. Normally you were phished. Something came to you and you made the mistake of typing in your password to someone, or they got a hold of the password that you use for everything through a phishing expedition somewhere else. Not really phishing, but they send you an email, you click on it, you type in your password, or your password gets fed in there. Ordinarily, that's a little harder to do, but if you type your password into something that came to you from an email, you've been phished. And if it happens to be a password you use a lot of places, it's almost like before you know it, people are out there, the computers are out there experimenting to see if they can get through, and that's how you get hacked. So please, will you get control of your password? And when you're working with me and I say, okay, what's your Google password for this account or that? Or what's your Facebook password? Or what's your LinkedIn password? Please have it. Please have it. It's really a good idea. Okay. What about this? Mass emails. You link this CRM we were talking about a minute ago up to your emails, to your CR, to like MailChimp or something. And now you can do good general communication with all your people. That is awesome. And what I don't want you to be is a pitch slapper. I'm not talking about doing emails to a billion people that you don't know trying to get some business. Now, some of you may say, okay, that's really worked for me. That's great. But pitch slapping is what happens right now a lot in LinkedIn, is that you get these messages from people you don't know and they say, oh, I looked at your profile. You seem like such a smart person. And, can we connect here? And man says, oh, that's nice. I'll connect. And as soon as you connect, another email comes in, like through some sort of automation, and they're saying, oh, look, I want you to buy this and do that. And they're pitching you on something. You don't even know them. They don't even know you really. And they sucked you into becoming friends on, connected. And it happens in other social media and other venues or through email. Well, that's called pitch slapping, where they just slap you around with a pitch before you even know each other. And my friend Jessie Lezak, go find her on LinkedIn. She even has a little funny thing she does. She plays the piano, sings about pitch slapping. She talks about pitch slapping. She's one of the smartest marketing ladies I know, just kind of in general. And she runs around with a nice crowd. And I recommend her. And she uses the word pitch slapper. So I want to be sure and give her credit for that. Don't be a pitch slapper. If you don't know me, don't pitch me. And if you sign up to have a meeting or talk with me or something, and you want to do business somehow, well, do me a favor. Before you show up to the meeting, research me, get online. I mean, I can't tell you how many people come to me and they don't even know anything about me. They don't know about the show. They don't know anything I do. It's like, what? I'm pretty out there. And so do your homework. And if you're selling to other people or you're getting ready to meet with someone with your business, please research before you make that phone call or before they come to meet with you, or you're going to go to lunch or go to their office and chat about something. The last thing to do these days is sit down with someone and say, well, Jay, tell me a little bit about your business. Hey, man, that was how you did it 30 years ago. Because you couldn't find out anything about their business hardly. It was very hard to research. It was very difficult. You about had the Thomas Register and that's it. Well, that doesn't fly any longer. Please, when you meet with people, get to know what they're saying. Let's see who else is talking here. Let's see. There we go. John, thank you. You're right. And let's see. Gregory says, oh, passphrase is not software. It's using, no, using that phrase as a password. Yeah. So he's being funny. Sorry. I thought it was a software. That's right. I remember now. I've seen that. And don't use the word password as a password either. Thank you very much. Passphrase is not software. It's using an odd phrase as a password. Or now here's the wisdom. I think this is what he's getting at, is that if you have a phrase that is important or valuable to you, you can use that phrase as a password, and that's more secure. Yeah, I get it. Very good. Thank you, Gregory. Now we got this. We talked about this. Build an email list, link it to your CRM, and don't expect it to deliver like magic. People still buy from people. And what I'm saying here is, and I went up to this one again, just to repeat, one at a time, identify who you want to talk to and call them, be prepared, and then put it in your CRM. It's already in my CRM because everybody I talk to and everybody in my contacts and everything is in my CRM. It's just automatically, it all flows together. When I send an email, it automatically goes into their account. We all stay in touch. We can talk, and I have stages. So as soon as I'm in a situation with someone where we might be doing some business. I have sales stages and I keep track of it and I can see where I am with people, and it's really handy dandy. So, what are we going to do next? Oh, and did you notice in that previous spot? Let me just point at this one at a time, call people and talk to them. Think about this. If all you did was talk to one or two people every single day, in addition to all the other things that you have, you would connect with them and good things could happen. You don't need to do pitch slapping and mass emailing to a bunch of strangers who see it for what it is. They don't know you, you don't know them. Okay, how about this? Analyze your own business and your work regimen and processes and make some changes. What are you doing that is a waste, and what are you not doing that you should be? Now think about that. Not right now because we got the show to do, but you know that there's some things that you do that just kind of a waste of time. Are you organized and disciplined, or is it kind of willy-nilly as the wind blows? The next thing that comes on the phone when it rings, or the next email comes in, and you're just kind of bouncing around, being reactive? Or do you set aside time to make those phone calls I talked about? Do you sit down and say, okay, here's what I'm going to do? Maybe make a list today of what you're going to do. I'm not saying don't answer the phone. Oh, please don't let your voicemail be your time management system. Nothing is more maddening to me than to be calling people within my own organization, which doesn't happen. This will not happen within my own organization, but I worked at other companies where everything goes to people's voicemail and then they decide what they're going to do with it. It's like, I don't think that's a very personable or very satisfactory time management program. So please don't do that to me. Don't do it to others. Here's how you prioritize, because that's what happens when we start talking about analyzing our activity. What is closest to the customer comes first, or at least consciously elect to do something else that's more structural if it's not directly associated with the customer. But if you're trying to figure out what to do next and you've got some choices, the easy way is what's closest to the customer. Attack that. If you say, but I got to do this or that, I'll never get it done if I don't eventually do it. Okay, great. Then put it on the list and do it. But make sure you think about it. You recognize the fact that it's not a direct customer thing, but you've elected to do it. Now you're in control of your time, and all these urgent things are not controlling you. More comments. I love everybody's comments. He's been on my show before. He's like a really smart guy. Minimize distractions. Amen to that. And especially for someone, bright, shiny objects always get my attention. How about you? Good idea. Here we go. Number 8. By the way, there's 10, so we're almost done. Set some goals and keep them. Make them realistic and attainable, and insist that you do them. Now, you want to really live dangerous, tell your wife or your kids what your goals are, or what your plan is, or how you're trying to attack things, and let them hold you accountable, especially if you work from home. And when you come out of your office, they'll say, get back in there. And I have to explain that I do some of my best work just walking around. I work, and it's the same thing when I was working out of an office. I thought the other day of all the steps I did at the office over 30 years almost. And I don't know how that looked, but they said, there goes Jay. There goes Jay, walking around, seeing people, talking to stuff. But I'm managed by walking around, and I do my best thinking, kind of walking around. I did a lot of walking around. I walk around a lot from here. And if that's part of how you think, that's great. It could also create distractions like Greg was talking about, so you know how you work best. But set those goals, write them down, write your list of to-dos, the things that you need to do and how you want to attack things and where you want to go. And it's funny, when you do that, your subconscious will help guide you also to what you need to do. Number 9, self-improvement. Continuous education keeps you sharp. Sign up and attend some of those free webinars that come to you by email or somebody you know, or LinkedIn, a topic that's interesting to you. Stay on top of this stuff. Now, we all know most of that stuff is designed for people to try to sell you their package or whatever it is. Hey, great. You don't have to buy it. You can if you want, but you'll get smarter and it'll give you some things to think about and keep you up to date on what's going on out there. And then go to some paid live serious training events. If you're still sitting at home, worried about COVID, get over it. It's over. We're out. We're gone. I just saw a thing now says that most of the COVID deaths right now are people that have been vaccinated. So it's like right now it's kind of running the stage or the course like the flu and all the other diseases and things that get people. So get back out there into the world, go live, go live, go live. And one of the things that you can do to go live is going to be the Gitomer sales certification and assertive training seminar that's going to be in Charlotte in January. And we're going to be talking about that again, but go to Gitomer.com to find out more about what's coming up with that, because there's an opportunity to get a real world, awesome 3 full days of training with Jeffrey Gitomer and Jen Gitomer, like it's never been available before. And it's a fantastic program. I was there at their inaugural event, and I will tell you that, it's like it changed some lives in a positive way. Now, if you don't want your life changed, that's okay. Still go and learn. And maybe you don't need your life changed, but you can stand to learn something, can't you? Hey, there's some more comments here. Click like this, do like that. Here's some more comments. There we go. Greg, you're a great sidekick. MBWA, was that Armstrong? Well, that's an acronym, and I don't know what it means. But I think you're probably trying to remember the theory or that thing that uses early adopters and late adopters and laggards. I'm gonna type it up right now because it's funny. I talk about this all the time, and all of a sudden I can't come up with this, and the whole program is called, what is this? Okay, come on now. Somebody out there, tell me what the theory is, or the way people that you can look up, and it's all about the different stages. And it's funny. I see people, as soon as people do this, managed by walking around. Yeah, I do that, managed by walking around. And that might be something that from somebody. Yeah. I'm having real trouble here finding this in definition where these come from. Let me see. Diffusion of innovations theory. That's it. Diffusion of innovations theory. Look that up, and you're going to see the whole program that people talk about when it comes to adopters, early adopters, and how that works. Diffusion of Innovations by Everett Rogers. Look that up. We just got into that. By the way, some of the people will say, boy, you bounce around a lot. Well, when we have a group and we're all sitting around talking like this, we're going to do some bouncing around, but we'll go back to number 8. And then number 9, self-improvement and education keeps you sharp. And if you think you've learned it all and you already know too much, then you already don't know. Number 10. Number 10. Here we go. Do it. Do it. Do it. Don't get cooked in the squat. That would be Zig Ziglar. Stop, get ready, and start something. If you go to my show from July 29th, 2022, I spent a lot of time with that, with video and other stuff, talking about that when you're up here under self-improvement and the other things, you've got to eventually grab some of it and use it. And the things that I showed you, these 10 things, are about actually doing something when it's all said and done. Get ready and start. Even if you're not completely ready to do it, please get in there and do it. And if you're having trouble with that concept, I'm gonna hot link this one, copy, There we go. And put it in the comments. There we go. Boom, boom. And this hot link will take you to the show, talking to what you do so you don't get squat down, ready to go, and you never go anywhere. And I see Gregory. Greg, thanks for coming. Happy Friday to you. Happy Thanksgiving. We're all starting this wonderful Christmas season and great things to go and do. We got through the banners. This was the last one to do it. And I want to thank you for coming. You've been on the Buyers and Sellers Show. Go back, listen to this, go through the steps. Cool things are coming. Cool things are there for you to get ready for the new year and wrap up the current year. And let's see, we got any more comments? Hello there. Hey, Bruce Mills, good to see you. So glad you came by. If you've been here for a while, you got the 10 comments, but we're talking about end of the year and what to do going forward. And he's one of my Gitamite friends and brothers, and very active, and someone that super smart guy. Bruce, I'm so glad that you've joined me here. Good to see you. And everybody, get on board. Oh, there's some more comments. Look at this. I love it. John Godwin said he listened to The Strangest Secret for the umpteenth time last week. You are right. And The Strangest Secret, you guys Google that. And that's by Earl Nightingale. Go onto your YouTube, and that will help encourage you to and about setting your goals, because you should know, and you many of you already do know, is success is the progressive realization of a worthwhile dream, a worthwhile goal. And Earl Nightingale, through this, The Strangest Secret that John's talking about here, teaches you exactly what to do and how to get that in your mind, in your heart, and your spirit. So go there. And Bruce says, yep, see you Tuesday at 1. You bet. Bruce and I are together in a mastermind group with Gittimer and a bunch of other people. Some of them are here. And we get together regularly to talk about our situations, our business situations, and brainstorm, and then get regular teaching with Jeffrey Gittimer. So if you say, well, that's interesting to me too, well, call me. I'll tell you more about it, how to get into that, or just go to Gittimer.com and see what he's saying. And that's an opportunity and a way for you to get to know Jeffrey Gittimer, the king of sales, author of 17 bestsellers. How fun it is to be friends with somebody like that. It's pretty cool. Anyway, everyone, I also want you to know this has been fantastic. All the comments, all the people. How cool is this? What a great day. I normally keep it to about 30 minutes, and look what we've done. We're probably closing in on 45 minutes together or more. I hope it was worth it. Remember, there were 8 steps above on getting ready, preparing for the next year, and really wrapping up this one in a productive and a smart way. I hope you can go down through there. Call me if you'd like to know more, or you want some help, or want to talk about it. So I'm not even going to charge you for a telephone call. Believe me, there's no surprises. If you call me, we're going to talk. And if you want something I'm selling, then you can buy it from me. But in the meantime, I'd love to get to know you and talk to you about all these things and more. So that's the end of the Buyers and Sellers Show. Have a great day. And if you didn't go see Grandma, go see her today. Because you want to go over the river and through the woods. To Grandmother's house you must go. The horse knows the way to carry the sleigh through that snow. See you next week, Friday, same time, same channel, 10:35 a.m. every Friday. I'm Jay Skinner, and this has been the Buyers and Sellers Show. Bye now.